Hello and welcome to Sensational South. I'm Harish Upadhyay. This is the show that gets you the flavor of South India. A top story this week is from Karnataka. The tax collection in the state is improving. In fact, it's surpassing the target set in the budget. But at the same time, the state continues to borrow more. The state is likely to borrow roughly around 48,000 crore rupees. That is 4,000 crores every week for the next 8 to 12 weeks in this last quarter of this financial year according to the RBI calendar. So why is the state borrowing so much? Why is it that the state is now going to increase the bus fares? It is also asking the state transport corporations to take a loan of 2,000 crore rupees to clear the PF pending dues of its employees. Is the state finances in a worrying situation? We'll debate that, but first the story.
48,000 crores. That's the amount Karnataka government will be borrowing between January and March this year. According to the Reserve Bank of India's borrowing calendar, Karnataka is projected to make market borrowings of 4,000 crore rupees each week in the fourth quarter of the ongoing financial year. All this even as the tax collection in the state has been robust and the state is likely to exceed the tax collection target of 1.9 lakh crore. The RBI data indicates that overall market borrowing by states for the last quarter is expected to be 4,73,477 crore. Apart from Karnataka, Maharashtra with 50,000 crore and Madhya Pradesh with 45,000 crore are among the biggest borrowers. West Bengal tops the chart with 57,000 crore borrowing in this quarter. The opposition in the state has hit out at the government for ruining the financial situation of the state with market borrowing and a budget which will inflate the interest payment liabilities in the coming years. The Saffron Party has blamed the Congress's guarantees for pushing Karnataka into bankruptcy.
I think this in the budget only they will more than 1,05,000 crores they have to loan. They will take the loan. I think for the guarantee purpose, so the government, entire government is now become the bankrupt. It's the pauper government. There is no money, so they will put more tax.
The Congress government in the state has blamed the previous BJP government for financial mismanagement and defended the market borrowing. Total market borrowings is likely to go up to 96,000 crore this year according to the budget.
How are they calling it a financial crunch? We are delivering on the guarantees. We are delivering on other progressive activities. New policies are coming in. New investments are coming in. How is it that we are lagging behind? We are number 2 in FDIs.
Add to it, the Karnataka government has asked the state road transport corporations to raise loans to pay the pending PF due to its employees. Once again, raising serious questions on the impact of guarantees on the state finances.
To debate this further, we have our eminent panel joining us today. We have Mr. G.S. Prashant, the spokesperson of the BJP. We have Lavanya Ballal, the spokesperson of the Congress party. We have senior journalist Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay joining us on this show. I'll come to you, G.S. Prashant, first. Prashant, on the one hand, the state is doing very good in terms of tax collection. The state government itself is saying that we are likely to exceed the targets set for some of these departments to mop up revenue. At the same time, we are looking at borrowing increasing. Not just this 48,000 crore rupees, we've also had the state government telling all these road transport corporations to take a loan of 2,000 crore rupees to clear the PF dues. What does it indicate in terms of the state's fiscal policy?
Firstly, Harish, you have to look at it from the increased tax collection on what front? If it is due to the large tax base which is increased, it's on the positive side. But what has happened here is they have increased the taxes on the common man by increasing stamp duty, by increasing the registration of properties, they've increased the prices. So therefore, what happens is wherever the common man is involved, the rate of tax has gone up. Therefore, they're getting higher collections. It's not that the tax space is not widened and there is no tax buoyancy achieved as of now. That is on the first cut off the rate of tax. And coming to the borrowings, if you look at what happened in 21-22 vis-a-vis the last 3 years, in 21-22 when BJP was in power, the borrowings were estimated at say 80,000 crores and finally in 2023 only 72,000 crores was borrowed. The total accumulated I'm saying. And in the revised estimates only 67,000, which means you make a conservative estimate to borrow more, but ultimately have financial measures in such a way that you will end up borrowing much lesser, which is not happening here. Congress, in fact, if you
Okay.
look at the budget document presented by Siddaramaiah in 24-25, his borrowing budget is about 1.05 lakh crores, which means he wants to borrow more. Why? To fund his poll guarantees. On the other hand, he's increasing the prices and he's announced the increase of prices for bus fares now. They've increased prices for petrol and diesel. The state tax is one of the highest in the country for petrol and diesel. And they've also increased prices for OPD charges also for the in government hospitals, which means at every given opportunity, they have ensured that people have been milked and leaders indulge in corruption, and the state is looking at complete bankruptcy.
Okay.
The coffers are empty.
Lavanya, state heading towards bankruptcy, says BJP. If the tax collection is going up, ideally the state should reduce its borrowing, its loans, but we are only seeing it go up.
Well, Harish, we'll have to look at the budget presented by Mr. Bomai. When budget presented by Bomai, it looked very good. But what Mr. Bomai's government, the BJP government, did was it approved 2.09 lakh crore worth of work which was not under budgetary provisions. They approved work, they called tenders, they fixed agencies, they initiated work. As a result, there is 29,000 crores pending bills. This is the main reason for the fund crunch in the state. And then there is also, because of this, we are not able to take up new developmental projects. The other thing is the union government is also not releasing grants, which is rightfully Karnataka's share. When people are talking about, the bus price hike, they also do not take into consideration the number of hiring that has gone in the last 4 years. The number of employees have increased, and the last time when KSRTC increased the bus tickets was in January 25, 2020. BMTC increased its bus ticket rates in 2014, right? Fuel prices is one of the biggest expense for the road transportation, and fuel prices have increased. What we would request all the BJP, everyone, all our MPs from the state actually to go as a delegation to Mr. Modi and request for him to reduce the price of fuel, because internationally crude oil prices are much lower than what it was 10 years ago, so they can afford to reduce the fuel
Why
prices.
bring in Modi for this?
But
Why bring in
Excuse
Modi?
Lavanya,
Let
the question
Karnataka
here
raise
is,
state
if the
taxes.
state is borrowing
It will
anywhere
show the
around
country.
1 lakh crore rupees.
Harish.
Prashant, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Prashant,
Yeah.
I'll come to you. Lavanya, the question here is, if the state is borrowing 1 lakh crore rupees, 1 lakh odd crore rupees to be precise, and it's spending 60,000 crore rupees on guarantees, many would ask if guarantees are the reason for the state to borrow heavily. Because remember, the repercussion of this will be felt for the next few years when the state has to pay interest and pay back these loans.
See, Harish, there is one question that everyone needs to ask themselves. Everybody keeps harping about the guarantee schemes in Karnataka and keep crying about a few beneficiaries in the state. I mean, the percentage of beneficiaries compared to people who do not benefit out of these schemes is, I think, much higher, right? The people keep talking about, oh, because of the beneficiaries, the state is, financially taking a step back. Why isn't it that the BJP does not answer the question? Because of the same social welfare schemes that they promised in other states and they are giving it, has the developmental works in other states stopped? If BJP can afford to run the same guarantee schemes in other states, are they saying the guarantee schemes in Karnataka cannot be run? They have to take responsibility for living an exchequer, which is a deficit exchequer and with a huge amount of loan. These are the very same people who had plunged the Shantinagar TMC because they couldn't run BMTC. Under their transportation minister, every asset of KSRTC and BMTC was pledged. Any government asset that was there. Today, we have increased more than 5,000 buses in KSRTC. When people are saying, "Oh, the schemes are the ones which are taking a hit," absolutely not. Don't begrudge a few deserving, underprivileged people, getting a helping hand.
Off track. We are not talking about the beneficiaries.
I will.
It's not about the beneficiaries. It's about
I will
the
let
mismanagement
Prashant
the government is
respond to
indulging
that.
in.
But I'll quickly bring in Mr. Ramkrishna Upadhyay. Mr. Ramkrishna Upadhyay, you've seen several budgets over the last couple of decades in the state. Is it a worrying sign, sir, this level of borrowing, taking loans, off budget borrowing, especially market borrowing, and asking a transport corporation to take a loan for 2,000 crore rupees to clear pending dues of employees' provident fund?
Harish, the Siddaramaiah government is in power now for almost 18 to 20 months. So there's no point in blaming the previous government.
Yes.
I mean, if for my government had proposed something in that budget, it was all scrapped once the Congress government came to power. So that is not an issue at all. I think the main problem is the guarantees, 5 guarantees which they promised, which they are not able to sustain, and still they're going ahead with it. I don't know. I mean, out of 5, virtually 4 are there. One has virtually not taken off. That is Vidya Nidhi, unemployment guarantee for the youth. That has not been implemented at all. So, please let me finish, madam. Let me finish. So, for these 4 guarantees, they're spending so much money. The borrowings have more than doubled in the last 18 months. From 44,000 crores, it has gone up to 1.05 lakh crores. So where is this going to be? How is it going to be sustained? I don't think Karnataka will be able to do.
Yes.
So that is why all the development works have come to a standstill, and then there's nothing that's happening in the state. The development works that have to be taken up, and MLAs are crying out. They are not able to get any funds for their constituencies. And on top of all this, have a deputy chief minister who is coming up with bombastic schemes like tunnel roads and whatnot, some 25,000 crores, 20,000 crores. Where is the money going to come from for all these projects? He's living in a fool's paradise.
Absolutely. Yes. Lavanya, I'll come to you. GS Prashant, one point that Lavanya made earlier in the debate. It's the same scheme that you're promising in Maharashtra. It's the same scheme you've already implemented in Madhya Pradesh. Remember, in the same RBI calendar, it's Maharashtra and MP which are big borrowers along with Karnataka. It's similar numbers you're looking at for the next 3 months. So the Congress is saying the BJP is no different in states where they're currently under rule.
Harish, see, if you look at Maharashtra and the size of Maharashtra's budget, and in terms of how the finances have been planned, the borrowing, in any economy there will be borrowings. But what is happening now, to fund the guarantees you are borrowing, and Siddaramaiah's budget is a revenue deficit budget of 354 crores. So therefore, there is no way they are able to mop up the revenues unless by increasing the taxes, wherein they are not increasing the tax base. So that is on one side. And on the other, wherein when they promised a host of benefits to the poor and beneficiaries, we are not against the poor and the needy getting welfare measures. But the manner in which it is being done, only without taking into consideration the prudent financial measures, and now under the FRBM, you are touching upon that number of 25%, you are closing in upon that number, what you will likely to breach in this year. So therefore, even under the FRBM Act, your borrowings are supposed to now breach in 2025 March. So they are not having any responsibility in terms of how they are managing the finances, because the entire government is involved in corruption top to bottom. Because I can tell you numbers.
Prashant, the Congress says you've left 5,300 odd crores just in 4 transport corporations.
Crores, and the fiscal deficit, which is pegged at 2.95%. It is 3% is the number fixed in the FRBM Act. You are touching at 2.95 in 2024 when Siddaramaiah presented the budget. And if you look at the revised estimates, which will come out when he presents the budget, I'm sure it will cross 3%. To ensure that it does not cross, they are going to come up with some.
But Prashant, how do you respond when they say it's BJP legacy that they are trying to fix now? The Congress says it's BJP's legacy. They have left behind 5,300 odd crore rupees dues in the transport corporation. They have left behind 29,000 crore rupees of tenders that haven't been paid for.
No, Harish, they have first of all not paid any contractor, because the allegations about the contractor came flat, the local direct charges. So therefore, to say contractors' bills were the reason, when the Lokayukta has now given a clean sheet saying that there is nothing called the 40% existed, and they are not even clearing the legitimate bills which were pending. They took a reason saying we are investigating, and after the Lokayukta investigation, Now they are still not clearing the bills of the contractors, which means the work has been done by the contractors. Congress is not paying them. At the same time, the hooliganism of Congress ministers
Okay.
is out to see how they are indulging in corruption. Right from
Lav-
the chief minister,
Lavanya,
to
the
deputy
other
chief,
worrying
to
point
the
here.
home
I need to
minister,
respond.
to the excise
Yes.
minister,
Lavanya,
to the
Lavanya, the
ministers,
other worrying
everybody is
point
involved in
here
corruption.
is the capital expenditure. It's nearly stagnated. If we want the Apple and the Microsoft companies of the world to launch their products here and have their companies here, we need to improve our capital expenditure. That's nearly stagnated if you look at the last two budgets. Isn't it a worrying point, Lavanya? Is it time now that the state looks at some sort of a mechanism to
Harish,
have
yeah.
certain regulations
Yeah.
for these guarantees?
Sir Harish, both the gentleman who spoke very passionately does not respond to the allegations, right? 5,900 crores is the kind of loans that the BJP government has left back for the Congress government to fill as of 2023. 5,900 crores is what the Congress government has to
5,000
fill.
crores.
I'm sorry,
We're talking about
gentlemen.
5,000 crores now.
Sorry, gentlemen. Please let me finish. You don't know your numbers, Mr. Upadhyaya. You also didn't respond to
you don't know. You don't know.
2.09 lakh crore
Don't
budgetary
say that I don't
provisions.
know.
Non-budgetary
Every
provisions
government
work
lives
that was
behind
done. You
something
say
because
it is
it's
not a
running-
legacy.
it's a
Sir,
running
you say
institution.
it's not.
Madam,
We
it
should
is
not
not
speak
standing.
about it. Sir, your
So-
statement was we should not speak about the BJP's legacy. We should speak about it because it is expenditure legacy. It is not a legacy
Expen-
of some kind of inheritance.
And
It
the
is
whole
an
thing is balloon now.
loss.
The whole thing
And
is
it is
balloon now. It's
Mr.
going to burst one
Upadhyaya,
of these days.
Mr. Upadhyaya, don't argue. Please,
Yeah.
it is
So
2.09 lakh
don't-
crore
don't
work
make
done
all kinds
without
of
budgetary
allegations.
provisions that is affecting the nation.
Okay.
As of today, the GDP of the nation is dropping, which is also affecting every state. If you look at it, if you look at the accusations made by international companies,
But Lavanya, how is the
when
state
people
fixing it now?
Chennai,
If you are
Bangalore,
following George Soros and
the
Hindenburg,
government in
which shows
Gujarat
the
sends people to
anti-national
take them
mindset
to
of
Gujarat.
Congress, you are a stooge of George Soros, who's being funded, and the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, where Sonia Gandhi heads it,
sorry,
is a part of the
Harish,
George
this
Soros
is
Foundation, who is
I'm
there
sorry,
to
Harish.
destabilize
Okay, we are
India at
digressing.
global level.
Lavanya,
Your party is standing
Lavanya,
exposed, Lavanya
even if
Bada.
for a minute I take your point that the BJP has left behind a huge debt for the Congress government to clear, the question would be, how will the state government fix that now? Are we going to borrow more and leave a bigger debt bill for the next government?
Harish, we are doing everything possible to clean up the mess created by the BJP, and we are going to ensure that we are going to live a healthy exchequer when we exit the office and once again contest the elections. This is our goal. Our goal is being seen every day in millions of people being able to feed themselves, being able to travel for free, and also Mr. Upadhyaya, the journalist, said Vidya Nidhi is not active. I'm sorry, he's wrong. His information is wrong. Vidya Nidhi is active. And I would like to inform everybody that the Congress government is committed. Mr. Upadhyaya, you are a better spokesperson for the BJP. You are the better spokesperson for the BJP.
Okay, no,
And
no
I'm not
personal attacks.
interrupting while you speak, sir.
No,
I
Lavanya,
do
let's not get
interrupt while you
personal.
speak. You are not,
Where is
sir.
Vidyanidhi scheme? Where is the Vidyanidhi scheme?
Please go and
tell me
ask.
how many people
Are
are
you
benefited from that?
are you a beneficiary? I will show you the beneficiaries, sir.
How many of them have benefited? You tell me the
The
millions of people.
students, sir.
How many?
The students are benefiting who have not found a job because
But
Mr. Modi
where is
promised
it?
2 crore jobs
Lavanya, is
every
it not
year and
time
was
to have
not
some
able to
riders
provide
at
jobs?
least for these guarantees?
It's just
Why
talking
should
through
we
the
have?
air.
No. Harish, when you are asking for riders, I would like to ask people, the media and the BJP, does the same question apply in Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh? And if not, why? Why is it that they are exempt
No,
from
no,
these
you're talking
questions
about Karnataka.
and these
Where is
riders
the
are
Vidyanidhi
only for the Congress
scheme? Let me
government?
know.
I would like to ask this because the BJP gives the same guarantee schemes
Okay.
under social welfare. The BJP gives it in Maharashtra and Madhya
Look at the
Pradesh.
pothole-ridden roads. Look at the
Yes, sir.
pothole-ridden roads. And
But then
your
Lavanya,
DCM makes a statement
Karnataka is a
saying
progressive
that he
state.
wants
The
a tunnel
Congress party
road,
has said that
but
we'll
you're
be
not even
different
able
in
to clear the
governance.
potholes. There
We
is
are
zero
different in
development.
governance.
Okay.
Just because
Mr.
BJP
Ramkrishna
makes
Upadhyaya.
Road
allegations,
has been
just
made.
because BJP makes allegations, that doesn't
Okay.
come true.
No.
Hello?
Rahul
Okay, fine.
Gandhi's
Mr.
position is
Ramkrishna
well known to
Upadhyaya,
everybody.
the Congress
George
perhaps at
Soros-
this point in time might not be willing to look at riders, but looking at the kind of numbers, the kind of borrowing and loan, do you think it's time that the Congress looks at some changes at least to ensure that the privileged, the ones who have the money and the wealth, do not end up becoming beneficiaries of Gruha Jyoti, Gruha Lakshmi and some of these schemes?
See, Harish, they have already reached a point where it's very difficult to sustain them. Now you don't have enough resources. I mean, look at these stamps and registration. They are among the highest in the country. And then you look at the excise tax is one of the highest in the country. And there are no more avenues which are available. And even this bus fare hike which they've done, they claim it's 15%. But you analyze the figures and you will find that it's more than 20%. The BMTC bus fare, says that the base will go up from 5 rupees to 6 rupees, which is more than 20%, not 15%. So they're trying to fool the people by saying that it's only 15%. And you take the overall, what the other RTCs are going to, burden the people, it's going to be much more. And then, there is going to be a hike in the water charges also. We're talking about that. And there's going to be 5 rupees more on milk. So this is the, bhagyas, much more bhagyas which the Siddaramaiah government is giving to the people of this state.
Yes, there might be a revision of certain tariffs. Definitely, water tariff revision is on the card, says the Deputy Chief Minister. We will have to see if that happens much before the budget. Thank you, Lavanya Balal, Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay and GS Prashant for joining us on this show. But one thing is for sure, with Siddaramaiah all set for presenting another budget sometime in February, March this year, all eyes will be on the numbers he will put out, especially looking at how much he intends to borrow next year and the loans that will be taken. Well, that was our top story, but time for a quick break now.